Okay, here we are back in League of Legends. So this is a post-game commentary coming your way, this time as Shyvana in the jungle. So if you're wondering why Shyvana, she's in line to get nerfed, and her nerfs are just really harsh. To explain while we wait for the pick phase to fill in, during Season 2, Mundo was king of the jungle, Shyvana was queen. Both of them had such strong AoE clears that really no other character in the game could potentially keep up with their speed other than each other. And Shyvana has kind of fallen out of favor until this recent Rage Blade buff, which helps her a little bit, but it does nothing to solve her big problem of lack of CC in the jungle. Now, on account of that, that's why you see me packing Exhaust as my summoner spell other than Smite. So my goal is, in the event I need to CC a target, I pretty much have to bank on Exhaust being enough. Now the advantage that comes with it, of course, is that this will also reduce the enemy's damage. So I can use it to... Well, to give you an example with Olaf, he starts to swing faster as his health goes down. And the thing is, he may think that he can out-trade me as he swings faster and faster, but the joke's on him because I can take away all of the force behind his attacks. And you will see me do that throughout this game. Now, a couple things to point out. Ahri is our support. I have played a game with this person in the past, the actual player, so there's a higher degree of trust between me and, I don't know if it's a him or her, but you'll see that the player gets some attention from me that others simply don't get. Point number 2, as for knockups, my Dragon's Descent, the ult, can synergize with Yasuo's ult to CC the target. Can't really read what I'm saying right there, but unfortunately the Tristana is going to be a pain in the ass. But anyway, key thing is Yasuo can combo off of my ult. Now, with Jax in the group, you'll realize we are packing a lot of AD. Thing is, Shyvana does do mixed damage, and that's one of the things we're kind of banking on, but you'll see how things play out as we go. So the enemy team, you can see, is filling up. Annie support, Veigar mid, Olaf top, Rek'Sai jungle, and their AD carry is going to be Kalista. As for our side, it's Ahri Trist bot, I'm Shyvana in the jungle, Yasuo mid, Jax top. And as for my keystone, I had the mastery page up a little while ago so you could read it, but I'm going for Thunderlords here just for interest of burst. Fervor Battle, some people may like that more on Shyvana because Shyvana can sometimes stick to people, she can bait people into trades, all sorts of fun stuff in that regard. It's just, if the enemy knows what they're doing, they're not going to sit there and trade with you. Thunderlords gives you burst. The alternative would be Strength of the Ages, which is pretty good in its own right. I'll explain how Shyvana works right here and now so you can get the gist of it while we wait to load. Shyvana's passive is basically a form of free resistances. It starts out at 5 armor and MR, and it goes up by 5 every time you put a point in your ult. So at rank 3 ult, you'll get free 20 armor and MR from your passive, which will double when you're in your ult form. So you can get 40 free defensive stats with that. If you go for Strength of the Ages, that can also give you a free 300 HP on top of that to make you even more durable. Like I said, I just prefer the burst, but you really can justify the Strength of the Ages on Shyvana and go for more of a tanky bruisery build. By the way, as for the keystones, Yasuo and Jax are packing Fervor Battle from where I'm looking. It's really hard to make out these icons because they're so damn small. Olaf also has Fervor Battle, Veigar Thunderlords, Kalista Fervor. Rek'Sai looks like she has Grasp of the Undying, which is not a wise choice for a jungler at all. Unfortunately, a lot of times the jungle fights are actually determined within 3 hits, so getting to that 4th one is very tricky. But anyway, gaze upon my custom skin. Yellow Lantern Shyvana. And yes, that is Blue Lantern Yasuo, so we will be wielding the powers of fear and hope in this game. Anyway, Shyvana's Yellow Lantern skin is actually kind of cool. With her glowing hand, it definitely looks like that's the hand with her power ring on it. And unfortunately, unlike the other characters who have lantern skins, Shyvana has no construct to use, if you notice. So she doesn't have a sword like Yasuo. I'm trying to think of what all I've shown. The halberd that Hecarim has. And then I do have more of them, it's just I'm not going to explain them until they actually come, but expect some construct fists, a bow, an axe, a staff. But unfortunately, Soraka's lantern skin is kind of glitched at the moment since they changed her Q. Pretty much right now I have to wait to see if the guy ever comes back to fix it. But anyway, going back into how Shyvana works, I did the mouse over for all of those real quick. Your Q is basically an auto attack reset. It counts as 2 basic attacks. In case you're wondering, yes, it does count towards as 2 when you're trying to apply the golem stun here. It is something like an 80% AD ratio, which is really, really nice, but that's one of the things that's currently lined up to get nerfed into oblivion. Now, your Q will also go down cooldown whenever you auto attack, which is why I'm going to be going for Devourer on Shyvana as well as Blade of the Rune King. So basically I can get a lot of auto attacks off and therefore get the Q back up. Your W is Burnout. This is probably Shyvana's signature move where you basically generate those flames around you. They deal damage to everything that gets close, and they deal bonus damage to everything in the jungle. It's a 20% bonus. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, they being Riot is trying to get rid of that 20% bonus, which will cause her clear to suffer significantly. Your E is Dragon's Breath. You basically throw a fireball at the enemy, it does some damage, and it marks them. Every time you auto-attack this marked target, they lose a percentage of their max HP in the form of magic damage. Finally, your ult is Dragon's Descent. That's where Shyvana transforms into her dragon form. Causes all of her moves to change. The Q becomes AoE, the W, Burnout, leaves fire in its wake, your E becomes AoE also, and then the resistances from your passive doubles. Shyvana is completely resourceless, gated only by cooldowns, and in case you're wondering what the second bar is, that is her Fury. You can only ult when you have 100 Fury. Unlike Tryndamere and Renekton, it does not go down in time. So once you have that Fury generated, you are free to ult whenever you feel like pushing the button. So on that note, we have brought you up to speed on Shyvana. Now as for my jungle item, you'll notice I went for the talisman instead of the machete. Since Shyvana does so much AoE damage, the talisman is by far the superior choice for her. You can use that to just do an additional 25 damage to all the jungle creep, and for the small ones early on in the game, that's usually enough to clear them even more quickly than before. And early on, you do not have enough attack speed or attack damage to really make use of the lifesteal from the Hunter's Machete, so Talisman. In case you're wondering, next week I'm going to try to get a game with someone who actually can use the Machete better than the Talisman. In case you're wondering, that is a very, very short list.
I smell fear.
But anyway, since I can't do anything top lane, Olaf really is my best lane to gank early on. Since he's kind of immobile and he doesn't have Ragnarok, I'm able to apply red buff on him, use exhaust, and easy kill. It's just, he died before I could go ahead and get up there. So instead I'm just going to fall back, farm up the jungle, and work on getting my jungle item, and the sooner you get the Devourer, the sooner you can stack it, you know?
The dragon nears.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Burnout, the duration of it does go up as you auto-attack, so that's another reason to get some more attack speed. It makes it actually last longer. But otherwise, I am not going to have a lot of CDR in my build in this game. I'm really trying to grasp for places to build it on Shyvana. If for somehow you can squeeze a Blade of the Rune, or not Blade of the Rune King, a Black Cleaver in somehow into your build, you could get the 20% CDR from that. It will give you some mobility and armor shred. It's just due to the whole lack of CC Shyvana has, you need to compensate for that with items. So I will be going for Deadman's to give me more mobility in the slow. Blade of the Rune King for slow, and then just attack speed and extra damage.
On wings of fury.
I could go for like some sort of weird glass cannon thing, but I do not recommend that by any stretch of the imagination. Now right here I think Olaf was so distracted by Jax he didn't even notice I was here. So right there you can see how you can use the exhaust to bait them into very unfavorable exchanges.
I smell fear.
So Olaf is very much your character that does not go down without, like, well, flickers wildly before going out. That would be the best way to describe him. With exhaust, you finally just snuff that flame. Right there, Jax needed a little help pushing, since I believe Olaf either doesn't have teleport or he used it. I wanted to let Jax get all that CS, but he just wanted to go back. Can't really blame him, it's really player preference, and in reality, Shyvana is so good at clearing the jungle that you usually don't even want to leave. With the bonus EXP you get from your machete item, well, your jungle item, plus your clearing speed, it really does compare with lane CS in terms of EXP offered. A lot of people, when they complain about Shyvana, their main complaint is that she can actually be the highest level character in the game because she clears that fast. Anyway, right here I was trying to bait some stuff out of him, basically try to get him to waste some mana, but he wouldn't go for it. Without my exhaust, there really wasn't anything I could do. But right there you can see that Yasuo is very, very slow to react. And since he's playing this so cautiously, there really isn't that much I can do to help him in reality. Instead, I basically have to just wait, farm up some items, and then try to do it later on. So you can see he does have a little trouble lasting under tower.
The quiet before battle. Killing spree.
So you can see Rek'Sai went ahead and took the chickens also, but that's not really a big deal.
I go.
Now, why is it not a big deal, you ask? Well, we have Ari, we have Trist, now we have Shyvana. So right there, yes, I did get my red buff back. I got an assist off of Annie, I got the kill on Rek'Sai, and all is well with the world and all that jazz. So I want to come over here and pop these tunnels so that Rek'Sai can't jump in on me. Yeah, a little bit of counter juggling never really hurt. Right there you can hear her screech. That's usually your cue to peace out.
On wings of fury.
So I'm trying to read what Tristana said there. I think she said something about looking for the tunnels in the jungle, which is fine. It's just I'm faster than her, and it'd really be better for her to just get the CS in the bot lane. I know she means well, it's just... well, intentions do not always win games.
They should run now.
Now, on account of... well, that's my second. So, behold, Shyvana's Fear Construct. Now, unfortunately, I do waste everything on Rek'Sai because I was not expecting to get creep blocked as badly as I did. So as a result, there isn't anything I can do. Just really, really bad luck, and really the whole creep thing has been an issue since Season 1, as far as I know. Just one of those things where it doesn't really have any serious plans to fix. Anyway, now that you can see my ult has been used, I'm down to 0 fury, and I have to regenerate that by just passively waiting. I get a little bit, like 1 a second or something like that. Or I can just go ahead and smack some stuff around, which fills it up much more quickly. Now, I believe it was only 850 gold to finish my Devourer. It's just, I'm trying to make the most out of my trips in the jungle. And if you look at our team comp, the only person who can really make use of the blue buff is Ahri. So in case you're wondering, yes, she will be receiving it once we get a little bit further into the game. So right there I picked up a longsword to become part of the Blade of the Ruined King, and then your Burnout and your Q have AD ratios also, so I do get an extra bit of return on those two moves for picking up the longsword.
On wings of fury.
So right there I don't really know what Rek'Sai was hoping to accomplish, but I'm in the area. If Rek'Sai tries anything I can always ult in, just run in, drop my smite, and then it kind of sucks to be them.
Has been slain.
In case you're wondering if I'm remembering this correctly, Yasuo will redeem himself if the game goes on long enough. But right now, I'm not really in any rush to try to solo the dragon. I don't really have the items or the damage on my Devourer to do that somewhat reliably. So as a result, I'm just trying to keep up the farm. Basically maximize my gold generation, which in turn will lead to new items. So right here I don't want to push it, but I'm going to try to put it right in front of the tower for Yasuo when he finally does get around. Now the good news here, if you didn't notice, is that Ahri died without giving any assists. As a result, that means... Bye-bye, Rek'Sai. Like, I don't know if I walked over a ward or what. That was just really bad luck for the queen. So yeah, she ulted in just to get mowed down. So in case you didn't notice what happened there, I smited her, which reduces her damage output by 20%, because I'm kind of running a double exhaust here if you didn't notice. Both my summoner spells reduce the enemy's DPS. So once her DPS was actually cut, I was just able to out-trade her. I can throw my E, start smacking around with my Q for percent damage, use the Burnout for damage over time, and it's just really, really rough. And to make things worse, that ult is a 2-minute cooldown at this stage of the game. Usually Rek'Sai will use that just to go back, heal, buy, and then get back out in the field while only wasting a few seconds. Now her ass has to walk back.
The quiet before battle.
But anyway, with all the gold I got from that, I now have a Vamp Scepter, an additional longsword that gives me more sustain, and I can just clear the jungle and everything else all more reliably.
Nothing like me.
So I didn't really care to try to pop that tunnel because Rek'Sai cannot ult in.
The enemies of Demacia will fall.
Now I'm a little hesitant to start this because I don't have a flash, so I have to basically use my ult to get over the wall if I need to get to safety. And once again you can see Veigar moved more quickly than Yasuo. That's one of the more crippling aspects to what's going on here. But some of the good news is we did have them tanking Dragon for a little while, so if we had received some reinforcements, we might have been able to do something. Like right here, I was hoping my ult would come up so I could jump in there and try to steal it, but oh well. So that is 5 stacks denied for me, plus the whole kill on Trist from Veigar. And we just ran into the whole problem of Yasuo is not really doing anything to take advantage of his opponent's moves. He could have shoved into the tower, he could have done a lot of things there, and instead he did nothing.
I go.
It's just a wasted opportunity thing that's really, really unfortunate. Right here I'm covering Ahri's retreat. And there's nothing that I can do down here with the range damage from both Callista and Annie, as well as the poke Rek'Sai can do with her Burrow Q. progress on the Devourer, but there's some ways to go. As for the whole Jax-Olaf thing, in case you're wondering, Olaf has a stronger early game, while Jax's late game just beats the crap out of Olaf's. Yes, Olaf can attack more quickly when his health gets low, but Jax will just pop Counter-Strike, and then the attack speed beats Jack. And then Olaf can try to run away, Jax will leap strike to him. It's just not fun for Olaf come late.
Quiet before battle.
So right here I was trying to see if Olaf would push that forward. Now, whether he's intending to or not, his undertow will gradually push the lane if he keeps using it like he is.
I go.
By the way, right here I'm looking to ult over the wall for Veigar, but Veigar actually came out. So, Smite, Breath, Q, he also took some burn damage from my W, and as a result I get the shutdown on him, Yasuo gets the assist, and I can go ahead and push this into the tower. So sadly, the minions do not actually help me with the stacking the Devourer, so I just need to fall back. And I don't really have to worry about Rek'Sai because I'm a lot faster than she is. And she does have Swifties, go figure. So right here I was trying to figure out which jungle item she's going to be going for, Cinderhulk or Warrior. Ultimately, I do think getting your completed jungle item is more important than getting your tier 2 boots, but apparently the Rek'Sai disagrees with me. Anyway, with the Cutlass I now have an additional slow at my disposal so that I can basically stick to people. Here they go. So right there I pop Exhaust on Annie, I smited her so I can start doing the burn damage. Rek'Sai got charmed. Here I use the Cutlass on Annie so that she has to deal, well, absorb additional damage. You can see Ahri went ahead and secured the kill. Now Triss is going to suicide to the tower while Ahri gets the other kill. Now right here Triss does something incredibly stupid. She rages. So Ahri made the correct call there in getting the kills, and Triss is upset. Apparently she doesn't realize an assist is more than nothing. And in reality, I simply don't understand how players cannot wrap their heads around the whole concept of something is more than nothing. But yeah, this is the beginning of Triss' whole whining fest. So if nothing else you take from this video, don't be like Triss. So right there, both of us can get gold from the tunnels. It's a meager 5, but it's still something. And then you can see how fast I can clear the Scuttle Crab, and that is without any form of CC. So that's an additional 2 stacks for me on my Devourer, and like I said, slow and steady progress. We aren't going to be breaking any records for stacking it, but on the flip side, I want to make sure that I am having an impact on the game. I want to make sure that the lanes don't fall so far behind that the game is lost just due to that. And you'll see the whole actually paying attention to your routes thing does pay off. So right here I need to wait for the 600 gold for the Giant's Belt. But I very, very recommend, if you're jungling with a Devourer, you still have some sort of impact in your lanes. It's really annoying to see those guys, namely Master Yi, who will farm for 20 minutes as the lanes die and then try to do something and get blown up. Speaking of getting blown up, so right there Thunderlord has picked off Olaf, I smited Rek'Sai and she dies to the burn damage of both my smite and my burnout. Now I'm leaving all the minions here for Jax because we want him to get fed so he can just solo Olaf without any trouble. And as I hinted at earlier, yes, he is going to eventually do that.
Behold my true form.
Now, in case you're wondering, once you have just a little bit more attack speed, just the stuff from leveling up, you can kind of remain in your old form indefinitely as long as you have something to smack around. Anyway, right here I wanted to try to get Vagar, but instead we got his flash. And you can see that he doesn't really hurt me too much. Meanwhile, you can see how much damage I did to Annie right then and there. So Triss goes gung-ho, another Event Horizon drops, but Callista gets hit by the charm. So that means I went in. Now, unfortunately, I didn't go as far as I'd hoped, and as a result, we don't get any kills. So while I normally would be down in ult, it's just you can stack up Shyvana's Fury so quickly, it really doesn't matter. It's just when I was moving over here just to try to pick off someone else. Since I didn't see anyone, just means dragon time. 5 stacks from Devourer and all that. So Triss used the Buster Shot to disengage that. You can see Yasuo is still feeding into Vagar.
An ally has been slain. The enemies of Demacia
And we do have ways to deal with the Yordle come late, so I'm not too worried. One of the things working to our advantage is he did pick Vagar into a really AD heavy team, so the whole Primordial Burst is not going to be as effective as it normally should be. You can see right there Ahri soloed Olaf. I wanted to kill that myself to get my last stack, but oh well. Skull Crab is just as good. So, a little bit late on making the Devourer sated. Part of that was due to not being able to get the first dragon. And then the second part is, like I said, I wanted to have influence on my lane so that they can get stuff done and not fall behind. So right here, Ahri is asking for it, and I'm more than happy to give it to her. Now right there I thought I was accidentally going to steal it with the Burnout, but she knew what she was doing. Have to admit that. But anyway, we now have the Dead Man's Plate, so I have more mobility, a potential slow, a little bit of extra damage. And we're starting to converge mid.
I go.
So right there I baited out the E from Vagar. And Callista did eat a Blade of the Rune King proc as well as a Frost Queen, and she still gets away because her passive is that much bullshit. So instead I just go around popping tunnels. We get a couple wards out here and there. Not really much to be had here, unfortunately, but the important thing is we're not feeding.
I smell fear.
Now right here Rek'Sai can see me, that's why I don't really care to do anything sneaky. In fact, as long as I keep moving, I have a bit of an advantage because there are frequencies for when she can see the ripples, and if I'm mobile enough, I can actually be much further ahead of the ripples that she sees. So in case you don't understand that, I'll be much closer than I appear. So right here I can't tell if this is warded because you'll see Rek'Sai fire a Q. It goes wide, so I'm not sure if she was guessing or if she knew. But right here, Triss went back. Yasuo and I being both melee, we can't really do anything here. But if you look in the top lane, they now have to scramble against Jax. I could have ulted to try to get Olaf, but as is, I think that's fine. You can see Vagar goes down. Right here I'm going to kill Tibbers. And Annie is going to get saved by Fate's Calling, that's what it's called. So Jax uses Counter-Strike really early there, and I don't really know why.
Enemies of Demacia will fall.
But right here's another one of Trist's questionable plays. So we go in hard on them. See, I get the Callista kill, and if you look the entire time, Trist does nothing but shoot at that turret when it's at full health. So had she turned, we could have easily killed Rek'Sai, and then we probably could have just triple-teamed Olaf for the kill. Instead, we got jack shit because she did nothing. So yeah, next questionable play from Trist. As a result, that's going to be our inhibitor. In case you're wondering, Trist is going to end up doing the least amount of damage out of anyone on the entire team, which as an AD carry is really disgraceful. But with an Olaf, a Rek'Sai, and a Callista on their side, I figured Ninja Tab is probably the way to go. It's going to allow me to somewhat duel Olaf if the two of us have to slug it out. All in all, I am considering the possibility that Jax may need to go to one lane, I have to go to another, and then we send the remaining three to the final lane. I just need to make sure that I can duel. Anyway, we passed the 20-minute mark, so home guards are now in effect. And she managed to get the Scuttle Crab since I couldn't see its health when I cast Smite, and she probably did have enough javelins in it to kill it regardless. Right there, Jax killed Veigar, which is pretty huge for us since Veigar is the one to worry about. You saw me take care of Rek'Sai already earlier in the video, and really, Veigar is the only one that has a chance against me since I don't really have a lot of MR.
Without remorse.
Anyway, they're all gone, so ourselves.
Was my father. I will.
In case you're wondering, Olaf's gonna get murdered by a dragon here. It's not parallax, but it's the next best thing. So once again, like I said, Ahri is the only one who can really make use of the blue buff, and as such, I want to give it to her. Now we do have to worry about Rek'Sai stealing, so that's why I'm coming over here to provide zoning potential. Callista thinks it's in the brush because of the way I was moving. You can see she wasted her javelin, and Ahri still gets the blue. So win for us, since that denies Veigar the blue, and as a result, he's out a little bit of CDR and some mana regen.
On wings of fury.
Now right here, I move over to try to help Ahri, but unfortunately, Callista does have a QSS at this point. She kind of knows what's coming. So right here, waiting to see someone, and eventually we just resolve to go ahead and move up. It's the waiting game, I'm afraid. So you can see right there, Charm connected, immediately followed by QSS. Ahri's a bit disappointed, but that's actually a good thing, because Charm has a fraction of a cooldown that QSS does. And getting that out of the way means the rest of us are free to do something else. Which is, in most cases, going to be either my Challenging Smite or my Exhaust. But if you look at the minimap, you can guess what's coming up here, so we're going to need some help here. It's time to recite the oath, boys. In blackest day, in brightest night, beware your fears, made into light, and those who stand against what's right.
The enemies of Demacia will
Burn like his
fall.
power. Sinestro's might! So while I did get stunned up there, the important thing is I had my burnout going, so all the guys who wanted to get out of the dragon pit had to go through my fire. As a result, I got an assist off of everyone except Callista, who Yasuo dealt with, and as a result we get Baron, and that is a massive gold momentum shift. So right here I'm making a line for the bot lane turret to go ahead and take that and give us even more gold. And that was just a mess on their part. So as a result, the Baron, free tower, I go ahead and pick up some CS here, Jax helps himself to a tower in the top lane. Like, I really do not understand that Baron call.
I smell fear.
Kinda wish I could hear their voice chat to know if someone was saying, the event horizon, it did nothing. Right there, Callista used Fate's call to try to hook me up under the tower. Didn't quite work, so they're out in ult, and I can just go ahead and come over here, smack these around for some lifesteal, as well as deny Rek'Sai some CS. Now right here, you're going to miss Yasuo make an outplay, because he's going to kill them both. Annie and Callista. In the meantime, I figure I'm just going to go split push. I don't really have the means to poke other than my E, and I don't really have any CDR to actually get those E's out often. So instead I can try to pull someone over to my lane, which is going to be Veigar. And right here, look good to see some of the damage he's packing at this point. So while yes, you may panic saying, holy crap, that's half your health. Well, the thing is, I do have Blade of the Rune King and a jungle item, so I have a lot of lifesteal from the jungle games here. And the event they didn't actually melt to my Burnout, I can pretty much heal up to full health. So I showed up in time to steal the last hit on the tower, start wailing on the inhibitor, and like I said, Ahri is someone I know and trust, so I'm willing to go in to save her. Unfortunately, I didn't get to damage Callista in time to get the assist, but you can see we drive Annie away. As a result, we got the inhibitor, and it's pretty much a big win in our favor. So Jax and I are standing guard, and we are in the clear. Now I'm going to join Jax up here to send this wave into the tower again, like the other ones. Unfortunately, without any pressure anywhere else, this is kind of like a sacrificial wave. But still, we are going to draw some attention to this lane instead of them being able to pressure anything else. So we're now preparing for the final battle. I'm getting a Banshee Veil here because I need something for Event Horizon. I could go for a Mercurial Scimitar, that is an option. It's just, I didn't really feel the need for it. I want some health regen, some more health. Like, I could see an argument for either case. It's just, this is one of those situations where I think the Banshee is the way to go. As for the pickaxe, I grabbed that one for flexibility. I could either turn that into a frozen mallet so I could slow people whenever I start laying into them. It gives me additional health. Or I could turn that into a rage blade to get more attack speed and even more dueling potential. It's a flex pick. So right here we got Callisto's Flash. Rek'Sai, I think, no, she's not going to go in. So unfortunately the Banshee was down. So I couldn't actually use it for the Event Horizon. And to make things worse, this is going to be my final death. Didn't get anything off of Rek'Sai, but still, we got 3 of them for just me, and you could say trading myself for Rek'Sai wasn't really a good deal. So, Ahri can go ahead and shove that in. Right here I was doing a little bit of taunting to try to bait them into keeping the game going a little bit longer. Unfortunately, that's the only person Veigar can really afford to do that to. So the nice thing about the third dragon is that will give me movement speed so I can engage better. It's very, very valuable for Shyvana since she's one of the ones who needs help engaging. A lot of people seem to underestimate the value of the third dragon, but movement speed is so freaking nice in MOBAs that every little bit helps. That third dragon is very noticeable if you know what you're doing. It's also helpful because Olaf has to run in just like I do, and having that
Without
extra 5 or so movement points very well can determine your fate. Anyway, right here you're going to see me botch the ult, and then you'll see the Banshee Veil get used the way I intended it to. So I'm making my way through the jungle, trying to push this up. Enemy still has super minions pouring in through the mid lane, so any additional pressure we can generate is very, very helpful. So you can see Veigar, Yasuo is at my back, there's Callisto. Now I'm going to try to ult over the wall, but it won't let me go. So right there I use the Banshee Veil to go through the event horizon. As a result I get to mow down Annie. I go ahead and hit Callisto with my Blade of the Rune Kings. She used her QSS to get rid of the charge. I forgot what Triss E is called. But it really doesn't matter, at that point she was dead to rights. So that's the end, folks. You get to see Yellow Lantern Shyvana, you get to see Shyvana before she gets gutted. And hopefully it's an overall enjoyable experience for you. Now this is the last game I have recorded before the Hextech crafting comes into play, so every game after this you may see a chest pop. Anyway, we'll see the end of game stats. You can see just how lackluster Trist was. So A rank could have been a little bit better, yes. In terms of damage, you can see Ahri actually did the most for us because she was the only source of magic damage. Jax is hybrid, but he's number 2. I outdamaged Trist. You can see Yasuo, Jax, and I were intended to eat the damage, me more so in particular. But one thing that's kind of deceptive is due to my smite and my exhaust, I take less damage than normal, so that's why it's smaller than it should be. But anyway, that's it for now, folks. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and good.